Bill France created NASCAR in 1947 with a bunch of fellow racers. One of them was John Markham. However, the latter wanted to create his own Northern Series and did so in 1953, creating a rift between the two that lasted almost a decade. France knew he needed a marquee facility to tie his series to. Markham, in the North, tried doing the same, but to no avail. In 1958, he merged his ARCA series with the USAC Stock Car Series, but until hell froze over, or so it seemed, no stock cars would compete at USAC's marquee track, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed, and Johnny and Big Bill kissed and made up, and ARCA came to Speed Weeks at France's new track in 1964, the Daytona International Speedway, but for the most part as a training ground for drivers, and that is how ARCA would be used over the years. Or at least it should be. Yes, it takes money to race, but a lot of fans feel that nowadays the series has turned into a playground for rich kids and their dads. The last ARCA champ to go on and win a Cup title was Benny Parsons in 1968-69, 55 years ago. Some question what the series has become. Is there a feel-good story in recent years that's come out of what the series was meant to be in recent campaigns? Just like Alan Kowicki in number 35, Greg Van Alst began racing when he was just about 19, and for the next couple of years had mediocre results. He'd run a handful of ARCA and USAR events with so-so finishes. Realizing he needed to get his life together, he stepped back, founded a business, and returned to race, and in 2014 won the CRA Late Model Sportsman Series. And his career moved forward. He won the 2019 CRA Super Series, and in 2020 tested a car at Daytona for Andy Hillenberg in ARCA testing. His appetite now whet, the number 35 ARCA team was born. The 2021 ARCA season dawned at Daytona, and Greg was running in the lead pack, as he was at Talladega Superspeedway. But wait, hold that applause. Most people expect the big one at those places, and sure enough, he was involved, and it wasn't any of his doing. Thankfully, he finished second at his home track of Winchester, Indiana, and that's what the series is designed to do. Teach you how to avoid wrecks, or not, while building confidence at places you know and normally run good at anyway. Ultimately, he'd run 8 races, get his feet wet, and plan for a full 2022 campaign. 2022 was Greg's first full-time campaign, but could have gone better with only one top 5 at Charlotte. But Van Alst still did what needed to be done, stayed current on social media, and bought a new toter while updating their equipment. Most racers grow up hearing about Daytona, the high banks, the sands, the speed, and dream of winning where the Great American Race takes place. But very rarely does one come in with no experience and takes it to the house. Drafting, pack racing, slingshotting, what line to take. That's what the series was created for drivers to learn. Well, Greg Van Alst just became a lifelong commercial for what ARCA was intended for, climbing the ranks, then winning in a classic textbook style, doing it as a local racer, trying to make it big. Well, part 1 accomplished. Part 2, that remains to be seen. But what a good resume piece he owns right now.